Hi everyone, and welcome to Luvcoding.com. Today in our tutorial, we're going to be looking at data types in JavaScript. Data types in JavaScript. So there are various data types in JavaScript. We're going to be looking at them. We have the string data type, number, Boolean value, Boolean data type, the null, undefined, and objects. I said it again. I say it again. Boolean, null, undefined, number, string, and object. Although there's so many other types of them, but we're going to be looking at these very few ones now. So we're going to start with the string. The string data type is any value, symbol, character, enclosed in quotes. These quotes could be single quotes, like this, or it could be double quotes, like this. So let's take a look at what an example of a string. Before we do that, we need to declare a variable with any name. So let's call it a name. Var name. That is the variable that's going to keep the value of name for us. Remember that every value must be stored in the memory using a variable name. So we're going to use name to store the value of the the incoming value. So let's say name is anything. Let's call it Johnson. Like I said, you can use a single quote. If you run this, oh sorry, we have not placed this here. So this is the paragraph where we want the result to be. Demo is a paragraph where we want to place the result. So we need to put the value, the variable value there, so that it will display at that position, at that paragraph position. So when you run this, it's going to give you Johnson. So if I change this to double quotes, it's going to give us Johnson. So now there are so many things you can do with strings. First of all, let's look at what happens if you have a long string that goes up to 4 or 5 lines. How do you let your code know that all these lines are in one string? You can do that with a backslash or with a plus operator. Let us take an example. Let me use this string here. You see, this is a long string. It can be as long as possible. If you want to put the strings together as one string, if they're very long and they cannot be contained on a line, you can easily use a backslash. Here, you can put a backslash here, showing that all the strings are the same. So when you run this, it's going to give us the whole string, even though they are in various lines. You can add more string to it. You can try and see. You can add as much string as you want to it. Then you run it. Yeah, as long as the backslash is there without any space, without any tab, just make sure the backslash is directly before the next character here. If you don't want to use the backslash, you can also use the plus operator to add this together. But if you're going to use the plus operator, that means you're going to do all the strings in the different lines. At the moment, you have another line here. If you have another line here, you have to make all these various lines of string a full string. You have to make them full string. So to do this, you need to put all these various strings in quotes. Now you add them up with a plus sign, a plus operator. Remember, they have to be full strings in complete quotes on their own. Now you run this. Sorry, oh my God. So you run this. Oh, sorry, there's no plus. There should be another plus sign here to add the other one. So we can run this now. So you can see everything. The 3 lines of code is now one single string because we use a plus operator to put them together. Now there are so many methods that can you can use on the string to achieve any purpose. You can concatenate string like I've just done. Using the plus operator to put 2 strings together is simply called concatenation. You can concatenate 2 strings together. For instance, you have name here. We can have another value. Let's we can have another value, call it var age or sex equals male. Now we want to add these 2 values together as one single string. So let's call that detail. Details equals name plus a space, if you like. Then another plus the sex. So we have to change the value of this value in the value in the that's going to be displayed to details. We're looking for the value of details, no more, not name. So we want to change. We have to change this value here. So when you run this, it's going to give us this plus this plus this. So just what you have done is to concatenate 2 different variables, string variables, into one. There are other methods that could be applied on the string. You can slice the string, you can split the string. For instance, let's split the first string. Splitting a string converts it to an array. So we have already declared name, so we can simply say name equals, oh no, let's just split it. Name.split, name.split. And we'll split it in 2 forms and see the different value that we're going to get. Name.split here. We're splitting by space. So whenever there is space, you're going to make it a different string. So let's see what this is going to give us. Then we'll do another form of it and see what it's going to give us. So we run this. So this is now an array of string. The string has been splitted into their various items. So let's show you now that there are different strings. Let's call the string 1 because string on their own is immutable, but we have converted it to an array now, so we can access individual values of the string. So let's get the value in index 0. Index positions are the location of all the items in this string. Each of them are in a position called the index position. So the first item is index position 0. So when we say name 0, means we're looking for the value and the first position in this string. Remember, the splitting is just name.split. You will see what's going to give us now. It gives us just S. The reason why it's giving us only S is because we have splitted this value into individual items. If you wanted to split them into string written inside quote as a single string, then you have to call this a variable. Var new name equals. So let's see what this is going to give us now. This is a new variable because we are calling this value now by reference. So let's see, not by the value, but by reference. So let's see what's going to give us now. You see, we have a different value, string. What happened was that in the first time, we split the whole string into individual item. But in this case now, we like make a copy. We like make a copy of this value, not this value itself now, but this is a copy. It's called calling by reference. We call it by referring to it. So it's now a new, totally new value. Is now a string, an array of strings where you have change this position to maybe 1. It will give you R. Yes, because now we have an array of each string as an individual, which value is now stored in new name. But the first time we split by just name, it was the same string that we are splitting. So we split it to individual items. That is why we got that value. Oh, I think we need to close this. Yeah. Name 1 going to give us T. So let's see if we open this space, what's going to give us. I think it's going to give us T. Okay, so I've just explained to you what happened now, because the value was called by reference when we declare this as a new variable, new name. Okay, so that is the split method. Now let's look at another method. We can look at, there's so many of the methods now. Just thinking of which one. We can look at slice. Let's look at slice. Let's call it var new name. So, sorry, this is new name. So let's slice new name from new name is now an array of string. Let's slice this from 0. Oh, sorry, we have to do this in a different variable. Let's do it somewhere else. So let's call it var sliced equals new name starts from 0, stop at 2. So this we're now looking for the value of sliced. Oh, new name dot slice from 0 to 2. So we slice it from 0 to 2. Remember, 0 is the first position, 1 and 2. And if you put 2 here, the value at the index position of 2 is not going to be selected. It's just going to select 0, 0 and 0, 1 and 2. So we're going to start from the first item. This is 0 and this is 1. The third item is supposed to be 2, but it's not going to select it. It's normally whatever value you put here, the item in that position, this is position 2. The item in position 2 of the new array, remember this is now a new value. New name is different from name. Like I said, it's a reference of name, and it's a new value, which is an array, which we derive by splitting this string into individual values. So it gives us a new value, a new comma separated value in an array. That is why we can use this method slice on it. I'm afraid that's where we're going to stop today. In our next video, we're going to be talking about objects. Thank you for listening. I hope you have enjoyed it. You are free to ask your questions and make your contributions. Thank you.